30 seconds.
So you and Randy are just going to be having a discussion together.
Don't worry about campus unless you want to talk to it.
Welcome back to Orlando, Clean Show 2025. We are live here with the Laundry Nerd Podcast. And with any live broadcast, we got a couple curveballs, so thanks to those folks who hung with us through this delay. It's special guest time. We're doing a cartwheel here. We're bringing a new person in, going off a little bit of the schedule, but it's worth the wait, trust me. We got Trey Stein here, sales manager for Central South Texas for ALSD. Welcome, Trey.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So how many clean shows is this for you?
This is my third. My first one was in
How does this one differ from number one? Number one, were you ramped up on the industry or was it all pretty new? And we're about a day and a half through this thing. What's it been like? What's the booth traffic been like?
Existing store owners, new excitement about the industry, which is really exciting for us. Seeing customers come in with just the level of knowledge and aptitude that they're learning on their own, and they're coming to a show like this to further bolster their knowledge and create those relationships and bring projects to fruition that have just been on paper, maybe a dream, and are now seeing happen. So it's been an awesome show.
Absolutely. So they're coming in better prepared.
Yeah.
That means you have to be better prepared.
Absolutely.
What kind of questions are you getting from folks?
We're looking at on-the-fly layouts and
really
efficiency of equipment. What expected returns could look like out of a laundromat, and just trying to understand live pro forma almost, if you will.
No kidding.
Of what the viability of an investment opportunity looks like, and what strategies should they be taking in a changing market where you've got traditionally the self-service customer now moving more to that pick up, wash and fold, and how do they incorporate that in their business, and are they in metro markets versus smaller secondary markets, and how does all that work? So it's been some really interesting discussions, and you see how retail entrepreneurs see the industry from a different lens, which is great.
Are you seeing that? You've been in the industry how long now?
I'll be 7 years in January.
Okay, so you know everything there is to know about the industry, so you're completely warmed up. So are you seeing that wash, dry, full, pickup, delivery as a much larger percentage of the revenue than even 7 years ago when you got in?
Certainly, yeah. I think it's investor by investor. It's really how much you put into it is what you get out of it. It's really a different business than
For sure.
customers. So being able to take those marketing approaches, building out the right business strategies and organizational strategies to make that effective is important. So for those that are really making that a big part of their operation, it's really become a high profitability area and a major part of their laundromat. So it's growing. It's tapping into the gig economy and using those DoorDash, Uber Eats drivers as opposed to having to rent the spaces.
Right. That's
Get vehicles. It's been much less barriers and burden to that extra.
So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Yeah.
Knowing that that's kind of a focus now with wash, dry, full, and pickup and delivery, how does that change the demographics of a location, or does it?
I think it does. I think it's you want to look at it in conjunction with the demographics, the build out of the space, and what's the feasibility of 2,500 square foot store and maybe a little bit more affluent of an area. Are you putting in less equipment and larger equipment to be able to facilitate that type of a business? So it has expanded the pie from your traditional only self-service markets to expanding to different geographical areas. But when we take that step back, we want to make sure that we're designing a store that's effective with that being the business strategy.
For sure. Like the owners that I talk to are constantly expanding. Like when they might have an existing location and all of a sudden this pickup and delivery takes off. And I'm sure you hear this 1,000 times a day. Like, I'm running out of storage space.
Right.
So if I'm coming in and I'm focusing on, hey, I'm going to really build this up. I'm going to pick up a lot of commercial accounts. You're probably having that conversation. Hey, we're going to put in less equipment, but we're going to have a way more storage for you.
For sure. Yeah, it's just the capacity size on equipment as well. To be able to efficiently manage those higher volumes is incredibly important. And you're working with the right equipment benefits, the extract rates on washers,
For sure.
and, pro capture the dryers. How do you keep that store as efficient as possible? Because again, it does look like a little bit of a different business than your traditional self-service customer.
For sure. And obviously technology at the show is a giant highlight. Technology when you're talking with customers is super important. What are you hearing? Because I've talked to a couple of the folks that have been on the show. One of them saying, hey, I was like anti-technology until someone showed me it. And I was like, I'm all in. Is that kind of what you're seeing, or are people coming to you and saying, nope, I want to streamline things and scale immediately, or is it kind of somewhere in between?
Yeah, I think everybody has the goals of or at least the customers that I've had discussions with, of growing from one store into multiple stores. And I think there's a vision in their head on what a business management solution should look like. But then when you have the opportunity to walk them through our Speed Queen interactive experience, and they get to see each of the components that are within it. The revenue reporting, the error reporting, the different CRM value, you start to see that this runs like a retail business and it runs like a restaurant. There's toast in the restaurant space that allows you to move those customers through. It really becomes a much clearer picture once you see that. So we're really seeing customers wanting to scale using a degree of technology, and ultimately I think it's if you're building a new store, you're acquiring, you have to have some degree of technology, either in the payment software or the understanding who your customer is, because retaining that customer is incredibly important and ultimately going to be the success viability of the store.
Sure.
So.
I'll ask you the controversial question.
Yeah, hit me.
So you have 100% card stores, app payment, no coin. You got people in the industry who are like, I always have to accept coins or my customers will run. Where do you fall in this debate? Are you going cashless, or do you say give your customers as many options as possible?
Cashless.
Tell me why. Tell me why, as a newcomer coming in, I want to not handle cash.
I think it's the goal in getting in the industry is to be able to have an infrastructure that takes on multiple stores. And the management behind handling that much physical cash or orders is, there's safety concerns there. You're going in on odd hours at night where you're having to touch and feel all that money. That's an issue. But it's just your ability to scale with seeing the types of payment electronically happens in multiple stores, whereas with quarters you physically have to be present to pull all of that quarter cash. So.
And are you seeing those new investors coming in being more open to that, or are they immediately coming to you and saying, hey, I don't want the cash problems, I want to be completely cashless?
Yeah, I think investors are coming in and seeing that 20 years ago, a lot of customers bought themselves a job and want to find a way to optimize and change the industry and see cashless payment as a way of doing that. And that in a lot of your metro markets, 60 to 70, maybe 80% of the stores are in that tier of bought themselves a job 10 or 15 years ago. So there's a lot of opportunities that people are seeing and saying we can really put our stamp in this marketplace by implementing some technology. And again, looking at it as a retail business, and a lot of customers have some experience in other industries that they can now correlate to laundry and get into that modernization.
Right, absolutely. We'll switch gears a little bit. This distributor is key, right? Like, we've all heard the horror stories of people that buy maybe cheaper equipment and then machines down or the technology is down, and crickets when you try and find someone that's going to help you out. And when machines are down, you're not making money. So we all know that. Talk about the distributor relationship and how important it is. What does a good distributor bring to the table?
Right. Yeah, I think a good distributor, it starts from the first time you guys have a conversation. You're always trying to provide value to build a successful business. That at its core, we do sell the washers and dryers, and that's what is important for us. However, if we're not building a successful business, then we're not creating partners with our customers. So early on in that process, if the customer has their own store, we've got to work them through the process, because it's difficult to know some of the nuances of how do you identify a location, how do you negotiate a lease effectively, get the right terms, and establish a contractor that is going to build the space effectively. And then once all those parameters are in place, you'll then want to have them connect to your install teams, your service teams, and be there as their partner in the next 5, 10, 15 plus years as they're growing into more stores.
Because you guys look at it as a long-term relationship. It's not a one and done. It's, and I think a lot of the investors you're working with are probably coming in and saying, hey, I'm probably going to do 2 or 3 of these things. So it's important to have that relationship and be well served well after the sale.
Absolutely. I mean, it's for us to effectively build your first store. It could take 9 months to a year to narrow it on a location or an acquisition of a business. Work with contractors. So there's a large educational process that is involved with this, and we're up to believe that once customers have went through that process, they want to start taking that knowledge of building stores 2, 3, 4 and beyond. So it is really that growth mindset and creating some scale.
For sure. What are some of the biggest mistakes that you've seen laundromat investors make out of the gate, new to the industry? I'm guessing going with not a full service distributor is probably one of them.
Certainly. Yeah, it's you're trying to piecemeal it out themselves and pick up $5,000-$10,000 here or there. And
Should I not be my own general contractor? Is that what you're telling me?
that is certainly one of them. Yeah, it's the general contractor that has got experience is worth their weight in gold, because they've made a lot of the mistakes themselves on other people's dimes, and you're not having to deal with $50,000 change orders at the end. So I think a big thing that I've noticed is happening, or has happened, where some stores aren't as successful, is they rush through the lease process. Where
That's a big one.
Yeah, you're looking at what's the next 30 years of my business and this investment going to look like.
What's the minimum? 10 and 5.5?
So you need a lease length that will match your loan duration. So usually it's a 10-year base term, and ideally you get 4 or 5 year options on that, because somewhere in the 15, 18 year range, you're either going to have to retool the store or sell that store to somebody who may want to retool. So there's that threshold that comes in there. So you want to have enough assurance that you're going to get that payback period, and then ultimately the ability to sell the business. So that's very important. And you just see investors who may rush that process and not get enough time, or they don't get themselves the flexibility to assign the lease. Customers also, at times, the rushing might do market rent rates versus negotiating that out, and it leads to more difficult conversations when they're later on in the business future. So.
For sure. All right, are you ready for your toughest question?
Yeah.
And it's the last one. So, the nerdiest thing you've said, heard, or seen while you've been at Clean Show so far?
Well, I was working in the Pro Capture booth, and I was trying to tap into my 9th grade physics class, because Andy Lubon came over about cyclonic filtration and all the I can even remember it. He was giving out so many terms. So it's I had a little bit of an engineering lesson over there. So that is probably the nerdiest thing that.
Yeah, I would say that falls in the nerdy category for sure. Well, fantastic, Trey. Thanks for diving in. I know we put you on the spot, mic'd you up, and threw you on camera, but amazing job. Have a great Clean Show. Sell some things. Keep it rolling.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you.